I'm going to make a EC2 instance, I'm going to do that, or I'm going to do that. So like, what are the most important tools you feel you use every time while you're developing a project? Abraham?
Sure. So the most important thing for me is not really technical. It's about writing. Like what I do first thing is to write a few paragraphs. Like what is the challenge? What are the problems that I'm solving? And what is the solution? And what it does to solve the problem? And that gives me some, vision and direction. And I don't get lost. Like if I go sideways, I get back to the basics. Hey, these are the problems that I'm solving, and this is the solution. And I come up with some sort of a draft architecture. Hey, this is AWS, so these are the important pieces that I need to work with. And it doesn't have to be, again, complicated. You don't have to use like 8 different lambdas and API gateways. It could be a simple EC2, like with a Node.js template that you use for all other projects. So that, you kind of speed things up. So if you have that, you just, fill out the blanks and the functions and, get on with it. So I think writing is very important for me. And I think like when you submit the project, telling a good story, increases the chance of winning because it resonates with people when you tell a good story. So I'm a true believer in that too. Like writing your, write out your plan and have a good story to tell. I think those are the two main things. The other things, like the technical side of things, I think that's something that everybody can handle. Like if you're working with data, SQL, Python, if you're working on the web, JavaScript, and your mobile Swift, like it doesn't really matter to me, the technical part. Mostly the non-technical part, I think, from my perspective, plays a more important role.
Wow. So it's not about the tools, it's about how you write the process and how you envision what you're building towards. Lauren, do you have like a same viewpoint, or like do you have a different viewpoint on this, on the tools you think are most important while building a project?
Yeah, I would echo very similar to what was said, but the one thing that I do try to gravitate towards when I'm looking for like tools and stuff is stuff that I'm already familiar with and comfortable with, just because I think that most hackathons you can go a lot of ways with them, right, and stuff, and some do have specific technologies that you're required to use, and obviously in that case you are locked in there, but I tend to gravitate towards just using what I'm comfortable with, and yeah, if I want to learn like a whole new language or something, I usually like start with just like a mini project first, and then do a hackathon after I've already kind of got comfortable with just the language. But I think there's lots of hackathons out there for any platform or language you're already comfortable with. You can find hackathons that are applicable.
And what about you, Vincent?
Yeah, for me, it's really just about keeping a record. So, like, especially for the longer ones, I might not want to leave like an instance that could be kind of expensive running for like six straight weeks. So keeping really good documentation of what I do on like weekend 1 or weekend 2 is really important for me. Having like honestly like having a README with all of like in this case AWS, because there's an AWS hackathon, like AWS, S3, CP, whatever, and whatever commands you need to like get your infrastructure up, so that if you come back to it in 2 weeks, you can, not have to spend a few hours just remembering, oh man, where was I, 2 Sunday nights ago, or whatever. And, even though it's a hackathon, like for me, this is a personal thing, and this is where I differ a little bit. I really like defining all of the infrastructure for hackathons as infrastructure as code. It just makes my life a little bit easier. It makes it so that I can take a look at it down the road, like, months later and say, oh man, I remember how I did this. Yeah. And also if I end up not submitting, or if, it ends up maybe not being the right fit, then I can always just have it as a reference. Like I always want to be proud, or, proud of what I've like created, even if it's not, something for a hackathon.